Hey guys, we're going to be looking today at how to do some division in your head, so mental math style. And you might not actually do this all in your head, but these are kind of like methods to do that. So we're going to be looking at page 95 in your book for this assignment. This is what I want you to do today, page 95, just that page. So this is kind of a cool way of doing it, so I just thought we should look at that. So what they have are problems like this. Well, first of all, let's just think about doing some problems like this in our head. So say if you have, 80 divided by 4. It's kind of like multiplication where you can simplify the problem and then it makes more sense. So you know what 8 divided by 4 is, right? 2, because 4 times 2 is 8. So what's 80 divided by 4? Well, you've got to just put the 0 over here. 20. Which makes sense, right? Because 4 times 20 is 80. So that same trick where you go like this, 4 times 2 equals 8. 40 times 2 equals 80. 400 times 2 equals, well, we know 4 times 2 is 8, and then add the 2 zeros. It's the same deal with division. It just goes backwards. So 80 divided by 4 is 20. 800 divided by 4 is, well, 8 divided by 4 is still 2, and you add the zeros, 2 zeros. Which makes sense, right? Because 4 times 200 would equal 800. 4 times 20 equals 80, or 4 times 2 equals 8. So if you can just add, you can just move those zeros to the other side. Or if it's 8,000 divided by 4, guess what? It's the same problem. We're still just thinking about 8 divided by 4, which is 2. But we're not just talking about ones, we're talking about 8,000. So it's going to be 2,000. So the 3 zeros go to this side. So that's something to keep in mind for these problems you're going to be doing today. Okay, so you have problems that look like this. And so I'll do a problem, but I'll do one that's not actually on there. I'll do, let's say, 84 divided by 4. So here's what they want you to do. And it's kind of an interesting thing to do. They want you to think about how can you simplify that into 2 easier problems and it'll make sense for you. Well, 84 sounds kind of difficult, but what if we think of it as 80 and 4? And then we divide 80 by 4 and then 4 by 4. And then we just add them together. Because you can always take a big problem like that and just break it into 2 easier problems. So 84 is 80 and 4. So let's divide 80 by 4. Well, we just did it, right? 8 divided by 4 is 2. And then add a 0, so 20. And now let's divide 4 by 4. Well, if you divide any number by itself, it's just 1, right? 4 divided by 4 is 1. So you add them together and you get 21. So they have like these little boxes like this, and you can just squeeze in that whole thing in there. 20 plus 1 is 21. Let's try another one. Remember, you can always pause the video. Let's try 78 divided by 3. And that looks really tricky, right? But think about what you could break it up into 2 problems that'll make it easier for yourself. And 3 will have to go into both problems. So let's think about your 3s. 3, 6, 9. Or if you're going by 10, you get to go 30, 60, 90. Well, 90 is too much. Let's do 60. So let's break that 78 into 60. And let's see, 60 plus what is 78? Well, 60 plus 10 is 70 plus 8 is 8. Okay, so it's 18. 60 plus 18, 17, 78. Let's divide, so we can divide 60 now by 3, which is, well, what's 6 divided by 3? 2. Because 3 times 2 is 6. But we're talking about not just 2 ones, but 60. Not just talking, I mean, sorry, we're not just talking about 6 ones, we're talking about 6, 10, 60. So I just put the 0 right there. So 60 divided by 3 is 20. 6 divided by 3 was 2. And now we can divide the 18 by 3 and we'll get the answer. What's 18 divided by 3? Well, hopefully you just know 3 times what equals 18? It's 6. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. And then you add them together and you get 26. So it's kind of just an interesting way that you can use eventually to do this in your head. So, okay, so I'll do something else too. So let's think about like, so that's how you solve these problems. But what about these problems? This is just what we already did. So 72 divided by 6. Let's pretend like that was this one, 78 divided by 3. We just did it, it's 26. But what if it says 78 tens divided by 3? Well, then it's not going to be 26 ones anymore, right? It's going to be 26 tens. Also known as, just if it says 26 tens, it just means you just add a 0. 26 tens is 260. Or what if it's 78 hundreds divided by 3? We already know 78 divided by 3 is 26. So just think of it as like 78 hundreds means there are 2 zeros. So that's what we did in the first part. Is add the zeros. It's going to be 2600. And if it's 78 thousands divided by 3, think of what that looks like. Looks like that, right? So 78 divided by 3 is 26. And then just bring the 3 zeros over. So if it says that like 72 thousands, just think of what that looks like. It just looks like 72 with 3 zeros. And it's the same thing for the bottom one too. All right, so please do page 95 in your book.